Good morning, students. Here I am, your teacher, Miss Gayatri, with another lesson on civics for class 10th. This lesson is the Union Executive. The Union Executive is the second organ of the government. The first one is the legislature that we had learned. The Union Executive comprises the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and the Council. First we shall learn about the President. The President is the executive head of the Union government. As the executive head of the Union government, the President has only the nominal power while the real power is exercised in the hands of the Prime Minister. The President is elected indirectly. The qualifications required for the election of the President as the candidate, if she or he is a citizen of India, the candidate should have completed the age of 35 years and he or she should be qualified to be a member of the Lok Sabha. To be a member of Lok Sabha, we had learned not to hold the office of profit, while the office of profit can be held by a presidential candidate during the election, even if he or she is an MP or MLA can contest election. This much is about the qualification required to be a member to be elected as President of India. After knowing about the qualifications required, how he is elected, the composition of electoral college we shall learn. The composition of the electoral college is the body that elects the President. It has the elected members of both the houses of Parliament. It has the elected MLAs of all the states and elected members of the union territories of Delhi and Pondicherry or Puducherry that we call. They are the people who vote for the President, all elected members of Parliament, all elected MLAs of all the states and the elected members of Union Territory of Delhi and Puducherry. The nominated members of Parliament or any other state do not have right to vote for the President or take part in the presidential election. The next we shall learn is the reason behind the indirect election. The President of India is elected by the indirect method of election. Why she or he is elected indirectly? There is a reason. In India, we follow the parliamentary form of government where all powers of the government is vested in the hands of Prime Minister. If the President is elected directly, it would have become the rival center to the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. The President would have demanded for more power than what he has. The elected only by the MPs in the center could not represent all the states and elected by elected representatives of the whole nation, and if the whole nation takes part, it would be quite expensive and it would also require much of time and other things to remove or to stop all those kind of expenditure and involvement of the whole nation, and extra time used for this is quite useless to elect a nominal head. So the President of India is elected indirectly. The next comes the term of office of the President. The President of India holds the office for 5 years. This is the term of the President of India. What is the term? It is 5 years and shall continue office until his successor or a new member as elected President takes place The president elected continues even after 5 years and remains in office till his successor comes. This is about the term. Next comes the procedure for impeachment. The President of India is elected by the elected members of parliament, by the elected MLAs of all states and 2 union territories. While how will be the president removed, the procedure for removal of the president is known as impeachment. The removal procedure of the president is known as impeachment. What is impeachment? Yes, the procedure for removal of the president. First, a resolution will be moved within 14 days. A written notice signed by 1/4 member of a house can send and intimate to the president. It can be either of the houses, that is the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Any of the 2 houses can initiate a resolution with a 14 days written notice to the president and being signed by 1/4 of the members of that house. In the next, the resolution is passed by a majority of 2/3 members of the same house. The house that had initiated, may it be Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, that had initiated with 1/4 members of the house. In the next, the same house passes the resolution with 2/3 members of the house. Next, it is sent to the next house, and the other house will investigate the charge laid against the president by the first house. During this investigation, the presence of the president is also required. And the president can withstand and can prove himself innocent. If not, if investigated in the second house and passed the resolution with a majority of 2/3 votes, such a resolution will have the effect of removing the president. The president stands removed if in the second house with a 2/3 majority of vote, the resolution has passed. This is in brief the procedure for removal of the president. First, any of the 2 houses will initiate with a 14 days notice in written and 1/4 members signed. The resolution next must be passed in the same house with 2/3 majority of votes and sent to the second house. The second house investigates the matter against the president that is charged by the first house. And if it is proved, the second house passes the resolution with 2/3 majority votes, and thus the president stands removed. Next, we shall learn about different powers of the president. The President of India has a large category of powers. They are categorized as the executive power, the legislative powers, the financial power, the judicial power, the discretionary power, and the emergency power. First, we shall learn about the executive powers of the president. As the executive head of the union government, the president is also called the head of the union administration. All administration of the country is done in the name of president. In the second, the president appoints the large number of higher officials in the country. The prime minister is appointed by the president. The council of ministers are also appointed by him. And the other judges are also appointed by the president. The governors of all states are also appointed by the president. The chairman of EPSC is also appointed by the president. The chairman of Niti Aayog is also appointed by the president. The president appoints the chairman of the Economic Commission of the country. The president controls the states during the president's rule. The president administrates the union territories and the border areas. These were a few powers exercised by the president, but every of these power exercised by the president is in reality controlled by the Prime Minister and the Council.